Hey y'all, it's Haley, and I just want to say thank you for joining my space, and I also want to thank you for my 15,000 holders. We got snipe botted today, but we didn't sell a single token. This is just a launch, and I want to tell you I'm here to stay. The plan is to give these coins to my real fans, the ones that buy my merch, watch my podcast, donate to my charity. And I also wanted to tell you that I learned a lot along the way, but I just want to say screw the sniper bots, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yo, Haley, they try to fuck us. It's all good. It's all good. Let them know you're here to fucking. You're not here to get sniper botted all day. You're not here to get fucked. We're here to have some fun. We're here to meme. And most of those coins, by the way, are going to your community for free. There was only like 3%. That's why everyone's like, oh, 97% is bundled. 3% was in the pool. That 97% is all on chain. Yes, there was a strategic allocation that was done through SAFs for people outside the United States of America because of all the security laws. So yes, 17% of the supply was taken from and that was paid for. There was a strategic allocation, and those tokens, those people can do whatever they want. They're not from the US. They could do whatever the fuck they want with those tokens, and some of them did sell. That happens. They're free to do whatever they will. But you're not going to find one fucking token outside of that was sold. Impossible. How do we know? Because we fucking controlled that. Nobody sold. Now, free tokens were going to be given to whitelists, right? Like free whitelists to communities. Yes, that was given out. It's all on chain, right? I want a real forensic and analyst. I want a real Zach XBT. Zach, where are you at now, bro? Help us out. Help the guys trying to do something fun in this space, right? Then there's a treasury that's for exchanges, that's for market makers, that's for all that kind of stuff. Haley and Team Token is being locked for a year with a 3-year vest. So nobody on the team is selling. Impossible. Imposible. Okay, I don't know what language anybody fucking here speaks, but everyone just is so jaded. Everyone thinks that, oh, everything's a rug. Everything's a rug. Everyone's here to fuck you. Nah, we're here to onboard real people outside of this spaces, right? The people here, you guys are already fucked. Y'all are fucked. Fucked in the head, fucked every day thinking everything's a scam. And you know what? You guys are right. Everything is a scam, but not this. Not this. We did not spend 6, 7 months of our lives dedicated to trying to do something cool, right? To do something different, not dumping on you, not bundle snipes, not 100% of the liquidity or whatever was bundle sniped by the team and propped up charts. None of that bullshit. Nothing on pump fun with insiders, not snipe your own supply and dump on everyone. This is the opposite of that. And it's sad that everyone just sees, oh, of course, sniper bots spent millions of dollars to pump up the tokens. Of course, if this is your first rodeo, all right, sorry, that's what happens here. And yes, people did buy tops. Okay, we didn't tell anyone to buy. We're giving tokens away, right? And yeah, the snipers dumped. Yes, some people who had strategic allocation, they sold, but not the team. Snipers are out, right? That's it. Now there's a lot more in the circulating supply, and a lot of tokens are going to be given to Haley's actual fans from TikTok, listeners from her podcast. Right, we're doing some really dope shit. People who bought our merchandise. We have over 10,000 emails these are people that are outside of crypto that we're going to be onboarding, and they don't give a shit. They don't even know what a market cap is. They just go, oh, cool, free coin. Now I get to join a community. Cool, done. Right. People who donate to a charity, right? People that are actually doing some cool stuff that know nothing about crypto. You guys are not the target audience. Sorry to say, right? This is not the target audience. The target audience, which is why I'm even doing this, which is what's cool about it, is it's not in this spaces. It's people that are totally out, people on our Instagram, people on our TikTok, listeners to our podcast. That's where we're actually targeting to. We're doing some really cool marketing integrations that have nothing to do with this. And we're not going to talk about price or this or that. That's all speculation bullshit. These meme coins, these are just here for fun, right? Whatever you assign value to it, whatever, right? What we're doing here is not giving a fuck about all the same bullshit. I've been a holder of a lot of these meme coins. The reason why they're cool is because there's zero promises. It's just a community. And that's exactly what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build a community. You only need one token to be in this community. And listen, most of you, we don't want you in the community. Let's be real, right? You're not great people. I don't know y'all, right? Some of you, so I see some friendly faces in this audience. Some people I like here. Yeah, love to have you. No pressure. Come in, don't come in. If you engage with Haley, and if you like the Hawk to a meme, then go ahead. You probably get free coins. That's it. You'll probably get free tokens because we're giving them away. We're not selling them. We're giving them. Here you go for free. That's the whole point of this project. If you look at the tokenomics that was tweeted from Haley's account that she copy and pasted, right? Literally said copying and pasting this because Haley is brand new to crypto, right? She's born from a meme, but she's brand new to crypto and she's trying to learn. She's trying to do something that's really cool and different in the space. All right. I don't care what anybody says. She has really great intentions. And this is not a celebrity token. This is an actual meme that has, I don't know, 100 billion fucking impressions on all the different platforms that like normal people, if you walk down the street, I'm in Hollywood right now, right? Guess what? You walk down the street, you ask 10 people, do you know what Hawk Tuah is? Right? 9 out of 10 people will fucking know what that is. I don't give a fuck, right? They will know what that is. If you ask them about the other 99 memes we have in the space, you might go 1 for 10, maybe, possibly, other than Doge and Shiba Inu, right? Maybe two out of 10 if you're lucky on a good day, right? But Hawk Tuah is a cultural meme. We're not launching some celebrity bullshit. That's not what we're doing, right? Hawk Tuah is a cultural meme that everyone knows here in America. So if you want to be part of this meme community, dope. If not, if you want to just, I'm going to say y'all, you guys, right? There's a lot of negativity in the space. I think crypto brings the mentally ill into this thing, right? If you guys are in crypto, you're most likely mentally ill, and I'm gonna count myself as mentally ill for even being here right now, right? I'm definitely mentally ill. I do love it. I do love memes. I do have a passion for this stuff. I try not to be on X like I used to because it's just a bunch of miserable people trying to farm engagement and hate and say racist shit, negative shit, and they think it's fine. Well, the world that I live in is not like that. We're trying to have fun, right? We're trying to actually have fun. We're trying to do something cool. We're trying to give meme tokens away for free to people who have never had any crypto before, any meme token. And you guys should be kissing my fucking ass because I'm trying to do something dope and give meme tokens to people, right? That have never, ever had meme coins before. I guarantee you we'll be able to get, I don't give a fuck about the price, by the way. Don't give a shit. But send it to zero. Couldn't care less. But if you get real users, real people going, oh, this meme is dope. This is fun. This community's cool, right? Hawk Tuah, I love Hawk Tuah. That shit's hilarious. Yeah, maybe that's a positive thing for the entire space because maybe when we onboard tens of thousands, hundred thousands, when we talk about this shit on national television, right? Maybe they might be interested in these other memes and these other NFTs that are in this community. Because if you like Hawk Tuah, you might like Dog with Hat. If you like Hawk Tuah, right? You might like Mog, you might like Kekasi, you might like all these other memes that are amazing, right? But guess what? Nobody knows about them. These are all these tokens, unfortunately, most of them are bundle farm tokens, not the ones I just mentioned, not saying that, but most of these tokens, there's, one person, 10 people propping up the chart. We're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to give a little bit of token to a lot of different people. And I know a lot of people want to see us fail. It's pretty sad because we're trying to do something cool for the space, but if you guys hit us with bullshit allegations, I'm going to fire back and I'm going to keep going and Haley's going to keep going and you can't get rid of us. Sorry. You guys could go post shitty charts all day. Doesn't fucking matter. Don't give a shit. I'm part of all your meme communities. There's nothing you can do to get me out of these coins that I've been holding for a year to 2 years, right? Sorry. I'm part of it and I'm going to try to be doing something cool and I don't care about putting my name on it, right? So if you want to see me fail, then you want to see yourself fail. You guys, but if you want to see somebody win with good intentions, then, come join the community, come be a part of it. Engage with Haley. You'll probably get this token for free. Over here, which is this is their first launch, right? This is really cool what they're doing. I'm going to pass it off to over here. And I think like what we're doing here, this is day one. Yeah, it was a rough day. Yeah, we got sniped to shit. But guess what? Moving forward, you know, over here and we have a lot of fun stuff planned. And this is the beginning. So over here, take it from here.
Thanks, Doc. Hey guys, like I think, Doc maybe a little bit over exuberant. It's it's been a long day. We've been up a long time. Obviously launch had some issues. Like we got sniped. Unfortunately, I think like ultimately, I think what we're trying to do here is target a little bit of a paradigm shift, right? So our project, we've been exploring the intersection of like Web 2 and Web 3 for some time, like kind of like iterated through a few different business models here and there. And ultimately, when we came across the Hawk Tour team, they were a little bit different. Like their backgrounds kind of span from like deep meme coin NFT guys to like kind of like some really deep connections within the music and entertainment industry. And so like their positioning here was like look, we haven't really seen a kind of NFT or meme coin project or anything kind of related to like a Web 2 IP trying to transition into crypto that's ever kind of had any kind of semblance.
Over here, guys.
We haven't. Yeah,
I'm here.
Hey, Haley, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that I kind of really
y'all cannot get rid of me. Good day. Sorry about it.
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of wanted to explore kind of like where we haven't really seen a project that has been like a Web 2 IP trying to enter into space legitimately, and anything that's kind of ever been able to show kind of some sort of semblance of longevity over an extended time frame. So when I linked up with these guys, they've been in the space for a while. Their kind of interest was trying to see if we kind of come up with a blueprint that could represent something that was like a little bit of a like something that could be a reference point for something that could be a sustainable business model for Web 2 IPs that were looking to come into the space. And so I think we kind of try to go back to the drawing board and think about things from like first principles. And I think that a lot of that is trying to create this paradigm shift that we're targeting. Ultimately, I think that the way that it plays out and it kind of appears from an optics perspective is that there's a lot of the tokens that are controlled centrally. And that is true. At the end of the day, we did mint the tokens. If you look at the tokenomics that's been posted publicly, yeah, I mean, like there was a portion that was like reserved for the strategic round where we did raise a private round, and that was done predominantly to mitigate any kind of concerns around like potentially being deemed to be selling securities to American citizens. That was obviously a very, very strong consideration for the team. And so we've done that. We did that by a private round, which involved SAFs that helped mitigate some of the risk there. So that was like one of the intentional choices, basically to kind of mitigate potential risks there. Haley's obviously a publicly exposed person, and that was just the legal advice that we had and wanting to be cautious around like how these things kind of work. But yeah, I think the real kind of thing here is that we've got kind of allocated a lot of the supply to the community. So I think obviously like a lot of the big narratives that have been kind of like prevalent in this kind of cycle have been around like, things that we've been talking about for a long time, right? Like mass adoption, distribution, those type of things where, like realistically, I've been in the space for like over 10 years and, we've built a lot of stuff, but like, not a lot of organic usage, right? And so we kind of went back and we were like, hey, I think a lot of us here can probably remember the Uniswap kind of airdrop moment, right? And I think that was kind of like this kind of landmark moment in crypto history that kind of like served as this kind of reference point that I think that kind of redefined the meta for airdrops and like retroactive airdrops and how we think about like tokens for like user onboarding and user retention and stuff like that, and like brand building through tokens and stuff like that. And so I think that the meta has obviously evolved over time to where we see a lot of like the airdrop farming type of stuff where largely kind of just like on-chain activity and like it's all kind of just inorganic activity, and we wanted to kind of see if we could replicate that within a Web2 context, right? And so for Haley, what that meant was like we've gone back in time and taken a snapshot that represents like the historical engagement. Basically, we wanted to try and see if we could distribute these tokens to her true fans, right? And I think that's another one of the biggest narratives of this cycle, with memes and like. I think Vitalik wrote about this, like what else could meme coins be, right? And we definitely think that meme coins are a great way for like I think as a community building tool, and like I think that it creates this like strong tethering between token holders and stuff like that, and like it's like this kind of way that by being holders in I guess like mutual holders in this token, you then become like I guess like decentralized shareholders in this kind of common movement. Where we're both obviously we're both beneficiaries. Ultimately, if you're a holder of the token, you're ultimately a beneficiary if the token does well. And like I think that everyone can kind of acknowledge that these kind of social tokens in general, they kind of trade predominantly on sentiment, right? So it's like how much engagement can you get, how much mind share can you capture, and yeah, so I think that starting from like how do we bootstrap in our initial community and how do we see that initial distribution, we were like, okay, let's go back and look at metrics of historical engagement. So we found like people that had donated to a charity, people that had like bought a merch, people that had listened to a Spotify, people that had like engaged on TikTok, Twitter, etc. And we tried to create like a tiered system that would be like, I guess, representative like a of the level of basically like your level of fandom, like how true of a fan you are, kind of like ranked by your historical engagement. And so we kind of created a snapshot there where we've gone back and look at historical engagement metric and distributing that via this 20% free claim that will be announced, the details of which will be announced like shortly, but essentially it can be claimed via the over here site. We've taken a snapshot already, and people can come to the site and basically sign in with their social media accounts and basically to check eligibility for this free airdrop. We've allocated 20% of the tokens, which is why you may have seen like some of the tokens moving to a squads multi-sig. Like a lot of that is to be to be used to be funding the Solana program that we are basically distributing the free claim tokens from. So there's that, and then yeah, going forward we have this I don't know if it's in the tokenomics published, but yeah, the community fund. So it's there. Basically, that's like for how do we distribute our tokens ongoing, right? And so like, it's how do you once you bootstrap in your initial community, you've seeded the initial tokens, the initial distribution to your true fans in your community. Then how do you grow from there, right? And I think like going back to that whole notion of these social tokens trading on pure sentiment, it's like we've taken the analogy of Bitcoin here and kind of looking at like Bitcoin is like Bitcoin mining is essentially like distributing tokens over an extended period of time, in the form of block rewards in compensation for miners coming to the network and contributing their computational hashing power, right? Because the network cares about security, miners contribute their computational hashing power and they're compensated accordingly, right? And in the context of like a social coin, essentially, right, like these things trade purely on sentiment. So really what we care about here is like impressions, right? how do you propagate the message and the IP. So the way that we think about it is kind of like, distributing social mining rewards over an extended period of time, basically in proportion to a user's proportional contribution of social hashing power, right? So it's like, okay, it's basically like gamified social. So, like all this kind of galaxy campaigns that we see and stuff like that, in Web 2, they call them like play walls, but essentially like, how it might look like is, Coffeezilla, you might be like, we see today we got like 10,000 impressions on Twitter, and we can tractably measure that you were responsible, and we can attribute like 1,000 of those impressions to you, therefore you get like 10% of the rewards. And like obviously that's a very simplistic lens through which to look at things, but it kind of gives you like an abstraction to kind of like understand like how we're thinking about these social mining. Obviously the models there need to be refined over time to figure out like what I guess top of funnel KPIs are driving like conversions further down the funnel, and like I guess refining the parameters and the weightings and stuff like that. It's a very, very like I guess quantitative driven kind of like direction, and we need to figure out like what metrics we can kind of tractably measure with like a high degree of confidence. But yeah, I mean, broadly speaking, like that's kind of a little bit of like how we're thinking about things. Obviously, maybe some of that wasn't as like transparent or understood from the launch, but a lot of those details will be kind of released as we we go along with the project. And hopefully a lot of this will be extremely transparent. I don't know if Doc mentioned earlier, but the team's tokens will be locked up for 12 months and invested over 3 years. We did have some problems like basically when we were trying to deploy that using Magna. And so like that will happen like very, very, very shortly. I think it might show up on chain where like I think like 10% of the supply lives in like a squad multi-sig at the moment, but that will soon be deployed on chain, or all be like very transparent. Like I don't think that all the tokens that appear in the tokenomics there will follow those allocations, and that will all be like kind of like transparent on chain. And so I don't think that there's like, is there any kind of questions from the community? Happy to answer any questions.
I have questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey guys.
What Coffeezilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No. That's not true.
That is true. That's a fact.
No, it's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain. So
we know. We trust me. We were there. We could answer that.
You know about the insider trading?
No, there's no insider trading. That's why we can answer it.
Okay, so there's tokens going directly from the main account.
Coffeezilla, just chill for a second.
And then it's getting sold for $50K. Who is that?
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for $50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these bullshit scammers out here. Not us. Now,
That's what everyone says, by the way.
Listen, doesn't matter. No, I'm not everyone. There was a strategic allocation, right, through a foundation. Every single one of those was signed through a SAFT. The deployer wallet. You've heard of a strategic allocation or a private
How much
sale?
did y'all get doing a pre-sale? How much did y'all make?
It's not that we made.
Selling out your fans. So
over here, can you give
exact?
Hold on, Coffeezilla, take a chill pill, brother.
So
y'all just rug pulled a bunch of people.
No, there's no rug. We're here every single day. There's no rug pulled, and it's not done by us. Yes, snipers sniped it up to an insane market cap.
No, it's not just snipers.
That was not us. That was listen.
You know that.
Listen, no. I'm telling you the truth.
And y'all made millions on fees from this little scheme.
There's not a.
I'm sure that's not you getting those fees, right? Who's making the money on the fees? Who's making millions of dollars on fees from this rug pull?
That's not a scheme. That's the project. So we can keep this thing going for years. Okay. That's how do you think? There's so many expenses.
Who makes the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
First of all, the fees were there with Meteora pools, and that goes to the creator, right?
Who does that who does that belong to?
That belongs to the project, right?
Who's the project? Who is the project?
Well, the project is over here, Haley Welch, right? And
How
and
much does Haley
there's a
Welch
lot.
own?
This is Haley Welch's project,
So she owns
and
all of it.
Coffeezilla,
Did she just make $1 million on fees on a rug? I'm just trying to figure out who owns
Do you
it.
know how much it costs for lawyer fees to create a foundation in the Cayman Islands, to hire directors? You think this stuff pays for itself, right?
So
We've
y'all wanted to make the money on day one? I don't understand. I'm just asking
we're
who
here every
actually
single
makes the
day.
millions of
Day
dollars in
one,
fees from the
day
rug pool.
two, day three. You know, this is how you run a project forever. Is you have to fund that. How, and first of all, over here can speak to the extensive amount of work and time and people that are on this project. Over here has around 18 people working on this right now as we speak. This is not a small time type of nothing. We're really trying to do something here, and not just do it for one day and do it for 2 days like you're
So
used
who
to.
made the money? You haven't answered the question. Who made the money? How much did Haley Welch make of that million,
Two,
1.8 million?
it's a foundation that is running this project.
How much does
Okay,
she own of it?
it's a foundation. She owns zero of the foundation.
So
The
y'all made the money?
foundation. No, I don't own the foundation either. A foundation in the Cayman
Brother,
Islands.
who profited? Over $1 million was just
I'm
made.
telling you, a foundation that pays people out. And by the way, hey, Coffeezilla, I'm not asking you, questions that are irrelevant to the most important stuff that you said. Who cares where fees go? It goes to bills. It
Well, when
goes
you're
to
charging
attorneys. It goes to accountants.
15%,
It goes to
when
directors.
you're
It
charging
goes to
15%
staff.
on a rug pool and
Right?
you're profiting from the
There's
rug
no
pool, I
rug
think it's
pull
relevant.
because we didn't pull a rug. I don't know what you're trying to say. It's not true. That's defamation. What
Doc,
you're
do
saying,
do do the
Coffeezilla.
math. Do
It's
the math.
defamation. You're saying that we pulled a rug. There
You
was no rug
released
pulled.
3%. You released.
You're defaming our character.
Are you not? Are you not
It's
going to let me talk?
bullshit. It's
You just
bullshit.
talk over me. You talk over
No,
me.
I'm hearing bullshit. So
No,
why
you're
am I
not. You're
going to take it
talking over
seriously?
me. Let me just lay out your tokenomics. You guys released 3% to the Meteora pool, while you have 17% of the token allocation unlocked day one on from your strategic allocation. Are you guys insane? What do you guys think exactly is going to happen when your insiders get sent their tokens? And by the way, who made the money from your 17% pre-sale while you're giving a tiny piece of the pie to the public? Like, what the hell? This is the worst tokenomics I've ever seen, and it is a scam.
It's not a scam.
The
And
tokenomics are a scam. That's my opinion. You can say whatever you want about it. You can cry defamation. That's my opinion. It's a scam.
well,
And I only do this for a living. I've only seen 1 million of these projects.
so who pays you, Coffeezilla? Let's track your
Ooh,
wallet.
turn it around. Turn it
But
around.
over
Turn it
here,
around.
why don't you tell
Nobody's
Coffeezilla
here
what
for
we're
me.
doing with
Everyone's
this
here for
project?
you. Where did the fees go? Where did the money for the pre-sale tokens go? Why did y'all unlock day one so people could dump on Haley Welch's fans? And how involved was she really? And how much? I just got muted.
Yeah, so I mean, like as mentioned, like we raised a 17% strategic allocation that was done at a $16.69 million valuation. We tried to kind of keep that as decentralized as possible. Like we tried to basically, we spent a lot of time going person by person at the start. Trying to raise 5K checks. Obviously the restriction there was, we discussed this extensively with a lot of different people in the space. As mentioned, I've been in the space myself for over 10 years. And the basic kind of premise here was that, we had the restriction. Like we heard the request for us to do this in a public manner. And, I think that we, having consulted with like lawyers, I guess like the legal opinion was that in order to kind of protect Haley and kind of mitigate any kind of considerations around potentially being deemed to have sold unregulated securities to Americans, that it should be done via SAFT agreements that would via this legal structure that we were advised to kind of set up in I believe it was Cayman or BVI. And like we tried to essentially have that as like 5K checks, like and scale that. Ultimately, that was kind of like quite difficult, and we kind of like basically ended up raising a combination of like 10K checks and some 25K checks, some 5K checks. It was like a bit of a range, and ultimately, I think we had like over like I don't know 200 people participate. A lot of people within the industry that were very supportive of the vision, because I think that they too kind of saw that potentially this might have been a pathway forward. Like I think that we're kind of hoping that this can be like a little bit of a paradigm shift. I mean, like I said, nothing that we've seen thus far with people from the Web2 space trying to come into the space in a sustainable manner has ever kind of had any kind of semblance of longevity of an extended time frame. And we're just trying to like try something different, right? Like I said, we went back to first principles and kind of tried we're trying to do something different in a way that we think makes sense, by ultimately seeding the community through this kind of 20% free claim. I think people that are kind of trying to come at us and be like, hey, we're not, like, where was the community participation? Well, like I think that it kind of shows with the tokenomics, that we have like actively tried to target her true fans by going and looking at historical engagement metrics, like obviously the people that have bought merchandise, people that have supported her by donating to a charity, people that have listened to her podcast on Spotify, etc., TikTok, Twitter, etc. So I think that we kind of felt ultimately that was probably the best representation of who were her true fans, and we wanted to kind of ensure that like when she was running this initiative that we got the tokens into the hands of the people that have been most supportive of her and like kind of really engaged with her content, and being supportive, and I think that's kind of like a lot of the current positioning. I think FaZe has like put his hand up a bunch. I don't know, Doc, like how do you want to do this?
Yeah, go ahead. I just want everyone to be respectful.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, this is
You guys hear
something
me?
that means a lot. Go ahead, FaZe Banks.
Appreciate it. I just heard this guy blab about pretty much nothing and repeat the same shit that he said the first time around. You said something about Web 2, people from Web 2, traditional Web 2 entering Web 3 and
Yeah.
not being able to see stable, like longevity, like healthy relationship with the rest of the space. I came into crypto in 2018, 2019, and I've never launched a token or a project, and I've done my due diligence to like know what to do, what not to do, and how to keep my fans safe from shit like what just happened. Haley, I'm going to talk to you directly right now, because if you really own 10% of the supply of this token and it's locked up for a year and it's vested over 3 years, you got scammed harder than anybody involved. This 100% was a mismanaged, mislaunched. Like this is took what Coffeezilla said. I would label this a scam as well. It's pretty obvious. Like Coffeezilla brought up, 97% of the token was bundled into the same cluster. And in layman's terms, that just basically means 90%, 97% of all the tokens owned were by related wallets, friends of friends of friends of friends. They were
No,
like,
no, no. That's not true. It's not true.
yeah, yes, it is
It's
true.
false.
Yes,
It's
no,
false.
it's 100% true.
It's
You're
held
talking,
back.
brother.
Yeah.
You're talking about some fucking. What did you say? In the Cayman Islands?
It's how you legally launch these
No,
types of things. It's a foundation. But listen, this isn't a bundled scam. This is free tokens that have been held back to be allocated to Haley's biggest fans on her social media, given away for free. This isn't what I think a lot of people are used to here, because the team was not dumping one token. That's not the only tokens that could have been sold. It was that strategic allocation, which is what we were talking about. That 17% that was given to strategically to people outside the United States through SAFs, and tokens that were given to meme coin communities and different communities, and that were there to be claimed. So this is not the team selling 97%. It's not a bundle. It's the tokenomics were published, and we can go through them. Maybe over here you can go through and we can show all the different wallets, by the way, and prove that they were not sold by us. So the bubble map stuff was totally false. It's not what happened. But over here, maybe you can explain the allocations to these different wallets and clear up a lot of this, these allegations that are just false.
Yeah, I mean, like in terms of like the distribution to the different wallets and stuff like that. Like obviously it was done via strategic. Like we did a private sale basically to strategics, and like it was distributed across like 5K, 10K, 25K checks to different wallets. Yeah, FaZe, I think you want to speak again.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
No, all good,
Haley,
man.
again, Haley, I'm gonna talk to you directly. At the end of the
Okay.
day, your name was the poster child for the token. The whole Hawk Tuah meme is used to like market it and launch it. At the end of the day, when Coffeezilla makes a video about this, you're gonna be in the thumbnail, your name's gonna be in the title. To what Doc or whoever the fuck was saying earlier about traditional Web 2 influencers coming in the space and having a bad like reputation in the space, it's for this reason exactly. It's because people enter the space like this with whoever the fuck. Basically, what I'm getting at, and I'll wrap up here with just whoever guided you in this, or whoever directed you to do this, or gave you the advice to do this, you should fire them immediately. And yeah.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here.
Yeah, I'm
And
doing the best I can. Thank you, FaZe.
Yeah, we're all doing the best we can. Listen, this is day one. Yeah, ugly launch, cool. There's day two, there's day three, there's day four, and the key is just not giving up. The key is showing up every single day, memeing. The key is to actually onboarding her real, true fans. This might not be for everybody. It's not a big deal to us. We ain't going anywhere. Haley's not going anywhere, and the Hawk Tuah meme is definitely not going anywhere. So this is definitely not a 97% bundled thing that everyone thinks. Yes, those tokens were held back. Yes, they were from the deployer wallet, but they're put into wallets for her true fans to claim. They were not sold. None of those tokens were sold. And I just want to make that very, very, very clear. We could show forensic analysts that are showing this same thing. Yeah, it got sniped to shit. Everyone knew that. We put the contract address out there early, and everyone was like, why did you do that? You should have sniped it yourself. We did that for multiple reasons. So there wasn't a million different tokens launching saying this is Haley's token, or this is the Hawk Tuah token, this is the official token. So we wanted to put that out there. Unfortunately, yes, it got sniped. Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? That does happen. We all kind of knew that was going to happen. It sucks that happened. But those snipers were the ones dumping. And yes, there was 17% of supply that was given to that strategic allocation. Yes, some of them did sell. That's it. There was no team selling any tokens from any other parts of the tokenomics from any one, if not one fucking token. But listen, it's all love. I understand everybody around here is kind of used to the same thing. There's only one way to prove that this is not just like everything else, which is just not give up, right? And keep going and keep doing everything, that you possibly can, right? To keep it pushing. And the only way that it's a rug, or the only way that it's a scam, is if you give up on it. And that's the one thing that we can say is no one's given up on this. So over here, if you want to ask Haley some questions, let's like, Haley is
Yeah.
somebody who's an incredible person, and she's had a lot of fun memeing. She really enjoys X. I think we have to really stick with the facts, and we can show all the transactions, right? And we've had them analyzed now. We can show all the transactions. That's the thing, is like the blockchain doesn't lie. And we will publish those transactions. It's not a big deal. It's very confusing reading that stuff, but that's not from the team. Yes, it got 90. Yes, it was 3% in the pool. 97 that was held back. All for really Haley. Most of that for Haley's fans, right? To claim, and there's a long, extensive claim process. But over here, you want to say something or have Haley say something? Go ahead.
No, I mean, I just wanted to be like, obviously Haley's been through a journey, and like, this launch has obviously gone the way it's gone. But yeah, I think that maybe it'd be helpful for the community to kind of hear, Haley's story, because ultimately, like, I think part of the reason behind kind of like the coin and stuff like that has been that, there's been a bunch of fake tokens launched, right? Off the Hulk Tour meme and IP. I think like everybody resonates with Hulk Tour as a meme. It's like one of the most viral memes of all time. And like, like I think people have been making a lot of money off like derivative works, and people have launched a bunch of fake tokens, which I think kind of speaks to the, I guess, inherent memeability of the meme itself. And I think maybe it'd be helpful. I don't know if Haley's comfortable sharing the kind of original story, and like I think of how things went, and like with the original meme, because I think that kind of helps adding a lot of color to the story here. That people have been constantly trying to make like profit off her IP, and like I think part of this was like her attempt to try and do it right. Like obviously we understand we got bundle sniped here. Put our hands up and be like, hey, look, like maybe the launch didn't go the smoothest. But like as Doc said, we're going to be kind of showing up every day, trying to run the project. I think Haley's here for the long term. Ultimately, like her career is like just kind of starting, and like she's accomplished a lot of amazing things in this short period of time, and like obviously resonating really strongly with the global audience. And I think, yeah, I think it'd just be useful for color if Haley was able to kind of share a little bit about that original story, because I think it helps kind of paint the picture here a little bit of how she's constantly tried to like build community and like use I guess what she's built to kind of like engage the broader community and be very inclusive. And like she's done a lot of cool stuff around like charity, and like I think she really cares about dogs and stuff like that. And I think it's really cool to see like someone that's actually genuinely trying to do something I guess cool with what she's been able to get in terms of like she's obviously had like a very very steep rise to kind of like quote unquote fame. But like, yeah, I don't know if Haley, that's something you're comfortable sharing with the community, or if you feel like it's a little bit too sensitive, or how you feel about that. But I definitely think that it's helpful for the community to have that color.
Yeah, guys, I'm just here to have fun. I don't really have a full head wrapped around this whole thing, but I'm figuring it out every day, and I'm here for the long term. My skin's getting thicker every day, and the hate's not going to stop me. I'm here every day trying to work on this and get better at it, but I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that's the
Doc.
right attitude, man. That's the right attitude. Um, like, listen, when times get tough, and this was a learning experience, also, for all of us. We don't, this is not what we do, right? We believe in Haley. We believe in the actual cultural meme outside of this space. That's why we're here. We believe in, the meme. We believe in Haley and where her intentions are. And if you've been following Haley for the last few months, yeah, she gets a lot of hate sometimes, but guess what? She always turns around for good. She started this charity, Paws Across America, and she's done so much incredible stuff for dogs, and she wants to continue doing that. And then now we have this meme coin that you can integrate in all these different things she's doing, including her podcast every Tuesday. I mean, she literally, is talking about her meme token on a really big podcast, on a charting podcast, and onboarding and talking about these memes, all different types of memes, all different memes that everybody holds in this community, and bringing awareness to it. So it's like, it sucks that everyone like wants to see it fail, and aren't very supportive of it yet. But I think, like, in week 2, in week 3, in week 5, no matter no matter what happens, when the entire community sees, oh wow, this is actually different than what we originally thought, right? I think it's going to take on a life of its own, and an entire new community is going to be built around it. So I mean, that's my belief. That's why we're doing it. We're doing something, super innovative in my opinion. With the meme token. But yeah, with Trevor, go ahead, man.
Yes. So I think the audience is very, very, very frustrated listening to this right now, and I think it's because um, people don't really want to know about like the reason for the idea or what you're gonna do next or the vision. They just want to know like about the dumping. Like they don't. It's not about the sniping. Like people want to know what you're saying. The bubble map is not correct. Like just provide the facts.
I
Like
think I can explain a lot of this if I keep
who.
getting muted. I keep getting muted. I think I
Yeah,
can
I'll go to you in
explain
a
a lot of
second. I'll
this.
go to you in a second, Coffee. People want to know who dumped. People want to know. People want proof that it's the strategic allocation. You guys said that you raised at a 17 million valuation, and there are about 200 different strategic investors. The bubble map showed that there were 12 addresses. So I think you guys need to focus on squaring the reality of what happened, because the perception is not good, right? So you just got to stick to the facts and focus on the data and just clear that up. And I think that will be the most productive use of your time.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I mean, like makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that we can go away and kind of compile something and then like kind of put it out in like written form and might be useful. I mean, like I think all of it lives on chain, so like it shouldn't be too hard for us to kind of go back and like kind of compile that and like put it out. Yeah, but like that's very, very useful kind of like context, and I completely agree.
I would urge you guys as well to share at least what you know now, because while people are here, they really
Yeah,
want to
no,
hear.
for sure. I mean, like I said, like I mean, it was. I don't like. I haven't. Like I mean, the bubble maps. I don't know why it's showing like if it's showing like 12 holders or whatever it is. Like, but like we distributed those tokens to I don't know how many hundreds of wallets. Basically in accordance with the strategic. Like a bunch of people invested. They got SAFs. They sent funds in. We distributed tokens. It was pretty standard. Like I've participated in a bunch of token sales. I've signed a bunch of SAFs. It wasn't anything too dissimilar to that. And like yeah, it's all kind of like it should be there. Like I mean, like if it's not showing up for whatever reason, like I mean, like I can kind of yeah. I mean, I can share it with you now, but like if you're telling me that is not like the in alignment with what you're seeing on chain, then I'd be extremely confused. But like, yeah, we can kind of basically go and publish that. I mean, I do understand that a big portion of the tokens does lie in like a few different wallets. I mean, like I said, some of that would be like 10% of the supply that is for the team, which will be locked invested. That will happen very soon once we figure out the situation with the like with Magna and the squads multi-sig and stuff like that. Some of it is allocated to the 20% for the claim and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, like all of that can be very comfortably explained as to where the tokens lie and what they're for. And where like I guess like funds came in, we distributed tokens to strategics. Basically they signed SAFs, they invested at a 16.69 mil valuation, and it's not more complex than that really.
And I mean, you guys should like label the wallets. You guys should be as transparent as you can. I mean,
Yeah.
A SAF doesn't have an NDA in it. Like, you guys really need to go above and beyond to gain back some ground here in terms of the trust.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like we can definitely go out there and endeavor to try and like I guess like dispel as much of the FUD as possible. I understand that there was probably not a lot of transparency coming into the launch, and there's obviously a lot of confusion. A lot of people are thinking that like, okay, they see on chain, hey, you guys have distributed a bunch of these tokens, quote unquote, for free, that were then obviously selling. We don't have control over how like private sell investors, like I guess like trade their tokens. They're free to kind of like we tried our best to curate that list of investors as best we could. Ultimately, we can't ultimately control how they trade their tokens, but
Well, you guys should have given him a cliff the same as Haley for sure. I mean, the tokenomics I think were not great.
Yeah, I mean,
we're pretty bad.
So I mean, like, yeah, I can see that. I mean, like, I think that there's also the counter perspective of, like, I don't know if you've been following a lot of like the supply overhang kind of like recent narrative, or like, people talking about that. I mean, ultimately, I think that, there's it's not a one size fits all type of situation, but like I do think that there are some merits to having a lot of the tokens out on early, and having like price discovery be a little bit more efficient, because ultimately I think that if you have like a lot of tokens like locked invested, like then you may not get to a really strong like indication of like where the market equilibrium actually lies, because you don't like allow for that
Yeah,
proper price discovery.
I get what you're trying to say, but I mean, the proof's in the pudding for what happened today. Like as
Sure.
a investor myself, I've done 80 deals, and I would never invest in a deal where the investors are fully unlocked on day one.
Yeah, no, fair
Can you
enough.
guys hear me?
Sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Who's speaking?
It's Ricky. It's Banks.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think we're just you're just running around in circles right now, repeating the same talking points over and over and over. I heard Doc say something about like 20% of the tokens allocated to KOLs. Was that correct? Pre-sale.
No. I mean, we did like I said, we did a strategic fundraise where we.
That
You
No,
that
said
no, no.
something. You said something along the
Hold on. There was
lines.
also 0 tokens given to any KOL.
So
That's just
who were they sold to pre-launch? Because I'm very good friends with Malcolm, Frank D. Gods,
they
Leap,
got 0
Threat.
tokens.
Yeah, you guys, because they didn't want any.
It doesn't matter. They got 0 tokens. We didn't give
But
them. We didn't give them any tokens for free. So that's just. It's all crap. Yeah. Listen, I'm glad that we didn't give any tokens to KOLs, because we'd be hearing that, and that we would be at fault. Nobody got tokens for free. That's not, and no team sold any tokens. All right, the team did not sell any tokens, so it's all bullshit. Obviously the snipers, we did get sniped to shit. That is true. And people in that private allocation, yes, they sold. Just like a lot of these types of tokens, people buy them, people sell them, people enter rounds. It's a meme token. We didn't think locking, people up on a meme token, made a lot of sense. But at the same time, this is something that's like we're all in this together here in this community with Haley, with over here, with all of these holders. And there might be a negative sentiment today, but I think like when people realize that Haley's not going anywhere and the Hawk Tuah meme's not going anywhere, and she's got it in a podcast, and she's got all these verticals, and she's doing all this cool stuff around it, like a new community will form. So my point is this: day one, right? Not the best launch. We will show up every single day. Nothing changes. And at the same time, it's like you've got Haley, who's been very committed, and memeing and bringing on a community. So it's like, yes, this meme token, the launch was rough. It got sniped. Well, the snipers are gone. Now a community's formed. Like we said, it's got 14, 15,000 holders, whatever it is. That's a lot of people. And there's going to be more that are joining. They're going to be claiming. They're going to be getting these tokens. There's going to be onboarding, which is cool. So, I mean, I'm just going to focus on the positives, and, no need to like, you know, ask any more, like, or say that, oh, this is this or this is that. The team didn't dump any tokens. It's not true, right? So let's just stop that there, and we will definitely put a bunch of like forensics together to show, right? Who are the ones selling, and then at the same time, it's like I think everybody will start to realize that, oh, okay, yeah, they got sniped, and some the some of the guys in the strategic allocation sold, and that was that. And a lot of these tokens that have been controlled by the deployer, they've been put into wallets for free claims to Haley's community, and it's as simple as that. So yes, this was done different. Definitely way different than the usual meme token launch. But at the same time, that's not a bad thing. I think that it can still work, and we're committed to seeing it work, and we want Haley to be very successful in this space.
I think there's some other guys that want to speak. Nick, did you have something to say, man? Can these guys speak?
I don't even
Nick,
see Nick.
Nick O'Neill. Yeah, I can see him here. Like, how do I? Okay. Yeah, I think he just pinged saying that he had like some questions or something.
Nick, can you hear us?
He's a speaker now. Nice. Or Trevor. Anybody that wants to speak? Yeah.
Nick, go ahead.
Oh, it said muted by host, so I couldn't do anything. Can you
How
hear
you
me
doing,
now?
man? Yeah, we got you.
I'm better than you guys.
Yeah. Definitely hasn't been the best 48 hours.
So
That's for sure.
I'm curious. I got a couple of questions. I mean, one, there's like a multitude of things that that I'm curious about. One is I feel sorry for but I mean I can't completely, like, in terms of it sounds uh like there's a delineation of sort of responsibilities here. It sounds like you guys are the team that's kind of like packaged this up, leveraging like Haley's brand essentially. I'd be curious like what the deal is there. And you said that the tokens are locked up. Um, Coffeezilla did bring up like one thing which had to do with sort of the fees. One thing that a lot of people have harped on so far is the bundling, and it, it sounds like you're saying you're going to provide forensics. I have no idea what the situation is there, and oftentimes the price side is completely out of control. But I'm curious, like in terms of the actual operational side of things. You said, yeah, we raised money that goes to all of these funds. How is that? I know that it goes through an organization. It's a pretty standard thing to have a Cayman organization, and then there's oftentimes an associated like uh, BVI organization, so that it all appears to be quote decentralized, even though like in practice it often isn't. How much do you guys get paid as a result of that to like keep the operation going? And like what percentage of that goes to you all would be like kind of the first question that I'm sort of curious about here.
We have tokens that are locked for a year with a 3-year vest, and just to get this done, in a regulatory way, we've spent over $500,000+ just to get that done. We intend, and a lot of people are employed on this on this, even over here on this team. So, those are operational costs. This is not something where we're looking to just to make some quick money. This is more of like a fun experimentation around what we
Yeah,
can
but
do with a meme
like,
outside of the space.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I mean, let's be clear. Like all of us, as much as we can say it's experimental, like we all run, like I run a business as well, and I have operational costs, and it's cool when, like, for example, those operational costs, for example, afford me to go fly somewhere internationally first class, for example. I'm just using this as an example. So there's like an incentive for someone who's like operating a business to basically like have a successful operation that's going. So I'm sort of curious, like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual like
Hey
source of
guys,
income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Well, hello there. But
Yeah.
anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. And for I guess we're talking over here, and I don't know if, what the distribution is, but are you guys
Let's
able to
let's let
speak in
Haley
terms of
sleep.
like?
It's been a rough day. It's all good. We'll come back tomorrow, Nick. Um, you know, we ain't going nowhere.
You
It's all
can't
good. You
just
could
tell me
DM
what your
me.
salary is from this. I'll tell you what mine is. It's $150,000. What's yours?
Okay, I don't have a salary from this, but that's
You
it's
don't?
fair. It's cool. No, I don't. Unfortunately, I'm underpaid. But listen, it's all good. Have fun, guys.
Neither of
We're
you
gonna
get
keep
paid.
memeing. We ain't going nowhere, right? We got We have we have tokens that are locked up for a year with a 3-year vest. So the incentive is to keep us showing up. That's the incentive, and let's have some fun. It's all good. We'll get over today. Anybody who wants to be part of Haley's community, we'd love to have you, right? And if not, if this is just, you know, a quick flip or whatever it is, then it's not for you. But God bless. We love y'all.